making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Jameis to throw it. Tries the left side and finds Olave. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Here's Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Ready.
Fourth down, Winston. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So the drive stays alive after the fourth down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. From the gun, Winston. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
2nd and 5 now. Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Saints are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
No score after 1 on EA Sports. From the 2, here's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jameis Winston with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Saints post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it on.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the offense, they had really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker, partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it now.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and they will take over first and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On third down, Winston. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Open man is the tight end Troutman. He's got room at the 30. Big strides, look at him go. Touchdown, Saints. We're talking about just coming in and completely seizing momentum. They can go up 21-0 here. We haven't even hit halftime.
And the other part of this, you can start to feel the unrest here in the stadium. I think these fans are saying, what hit us? And this isn't about fantasy points. This is about rooting their team on.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Gordon's going to be stopped short. Murray sets to throw on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Winston to give. It's Kamara. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Now in his 6th season, Kamara just continues to be one of the best dual-purpose backs in football. He's never missed a Pro Bowl, and he has the most total yards in the NFL since entering the league in 2017. He actually played in his fewest games in a season last year and still had over 1,300 yards.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A 10th carry for Kamara. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Jet sweep, here's Olave. And they'll lose yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. Oh, that's offline. He hooked it. It's no good. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
Wow, that qualifies as a bad miss because anything inside of 40 should be automatic. That's a big mistake right there.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now Murray off play action. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
It's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Ready? Ready, come see. Ready.
Kamara up the middle. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Guess who? J.J. Watt, as he so often does, getting in there to wreak havoc.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Winston. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time, because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Going deep for Hopkins. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On play action, it's Murray. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Ready.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They start the second half with Kamara, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A busy night continues for Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play to about the 40-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Up the middle, Ingram. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Murray now on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That catch in his career is number 662, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah, who was a wide receiver at Alabama before he transitioned in the NFL. And we're seeing similar attributes here because the ability to play inside, outside, flex out, he can catch it from any position and turn it into a big play.
Now he's got his eyes on 700.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Murray and company going for it on 4th. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
And there's the beauty of Kyler Murray, because we all know he can get it done through the air. Terrific right arm, and nowadays we don't even talk about his height anymore. He's shown that he can see downfield and make throws, but he also possesses wide receiver speed. He can call his own number or scramble and turn it into a big play as well. Kyler Murray, a dual threat at the quarterback position.
Now a toss right side. It's Gordon. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Murray going to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. J.J. Watt, tough to stop. He gets upfield and makes a play behind the line.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. He was brought down by Trayvon Mullen.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Kamara. 79 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Ingram again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Now Winston. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. They'll run here with Ingram. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
A gain of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Ingram again. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, it has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now Murray's got to have this one. He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. Now, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Olave over the middle. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Again, Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Saints look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Quick slant to Brown. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Murray flips his forward on a jet sweep. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing now is Murray. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz and the sack.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
The quick slant caught. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Saints,